Okay, right. We are back with another episode of my California Golden Seals franchise mode series. Can we call it a franchise? A franchise would indicate a team that's had success, in which, if we're judging it by cups, we have had absolutely none. It's 2032, and we're in a bit of a crisis. And I think, judging by your comments, you would agree. I'd start retooling. Stripped Fragapani of the sea. Time to club these seals. Most of your team can't provide. So on and so forth. That's pretty much the gist of the comment section for the most part, outside of Charles bringing up the fact that, hey, third line guys are normally this, although, look at what's going on in the Vegas series right now. But yeah, and also I can be harsh on Fragapani because he wasn't producing as a top six guy, so if he's also not producing as a third line guy, then he's useless to us, isn't he? Which brings me to this episode, because I don't know what the hell is going to happen. I don't know who's staying. I don't know who's going. I don't know what the hell we're doing anymore. The goal, of course, is to still be competitive if we could possibly help it. Shout out to Kirk Foote. But I don't know if we can help it. I don't know who gets to stay. I don't know who gets to go. It's all going to be decided on the fly. So this team might take an even bigger step backwards. Maybe some people get a second, third, fifth, 17th opportunity. Time will tell. Depends on how the draft goes. It depends on a lot of different things. As Montreal wins the cup, this is the worst timeline. I do want to quickly take a look at whether or not Fog of War is on, because I'm not against. I've been doing this recently on Twitch, somewhat recently. As you get a look at the picks there, of course, we're not involved. Having Fog of War off for the draft isn't actually that big of a detriment. You do just immediately find out. You still have to scout out the players as Tyler Seguin retires. You do have to, still scout out the players. You're not going to know, right at the draft, he's this. You're still not going to know, but you'll find out immediately after drafting somebody how good they are. So if it happens to be, as Silas Sims has retired, if it happens to be on, I think we might just leave it on. Which the one way to know would be by going to view contracts and taking a look from there. And indeed it is on, because we have full info about our team and about Calgary. So I think I'm just going to leave it on for this draft. It's not going to be that much of a negative. That said, I think we're good to just jump right into this draft. Our normal 7 picks. We'll see what we can do. And then from there, heads may indeed roll. So we get the 20th pick of the first round. A medium elite 64 overall went to Philly before this. So see, case in point, I still don't have exact information on everybody. So that's promising. And of course, as we continue to scroll down, we'll have less and less full info. So there's still that, right? We still have that going for us. Of course, we'll get that instant feedback on how good someone is. So Pete Garnett had a 76-point season. Straight B is 1A minus. Claude Giroux comparison. What about Tuukka Vitanen? Couple of C's in there. A shot, though. A pro release. I'll keep him in mind. Zane Abney had a great season. Again, a great shot. We'll keep him in mind as well. Trenton Howard doesn't have that same shot. He'll be out. Ernest Spurgeon, not going to happen. Or, as Don Cherry would say, Ernest Spurgeon, not going to happen. Kurt Rodriguez, also not going to happen. Jake Belugis probably has another solid shot. We have Quentin Pojar, the defenseman, B's and C's. God, Braylon Belfour, not terrible. Schaefer, Gehring, we're going to avoid. And let's see, how far down do we want to go here, looking towards the beginning of the next round. Jorgen Markstrom, the grinder. B's and C's, the A minus in physicality. Certainly not the type of guy that we want right now. Vlasic, the defenseman. B's and C's, not ideal. Ross Cowan, and Camden Cavallo. Cavallo. Let's go with Cavallo. And then there was this gem, Jan Obsut. B's and C's. Okay, so if we go back up to the top of the board, I mean, the highest rated guy was Garnett. And I mean, straight B's with 1A. Nobody else could really compete with that. You had a couple of guys with the A shot. But I think by far the best overall guy is the highest rated guy left. Or the highest guy on the board. That's all 5'8" of him, 171 pounds. Pete Garnett is going to be the selection, the most well-rounded player. He is a 69 overall, very nice, medium top 6. So we'll see if we made a mistake. And here I'll actually scroll back to the top of the draft just to let you see who was there. Foot was actually quite decent. So I actually kind of like having Fogamore off of the draft now that I know it's not like, oh, hey, yeah, you just have full info on people. I don't know why I thought that would be the case, but you get the point. Let's see if I made a mistake, shall we? Is there a medium elite in the bunch? I don't see one, so I think we did okay. All things considered, it wasn't that tough of a decision. Let's be honest, I don't deserve that much credit. So if we're taking a look here, Bochenski, not bad at all. Samard, similar, and in all honesty, probably a similar grade. B's and C's there. Hodgson. I mean, so we can get a decent player, but I need to aim for something higher. Like Landon McCult. B's and C's, but that's a chance at having a good potential, not a guarantee. Then there's Braden Baines, the low elite gem. So obviously right now he is the favorites. Is there anybody else? We have a medium starter goalie in Brendan McCarthy. A couple of medium 9s, potentially some low 6s. A potential medium elite in Kelly Goligoski. With a very good point total, but as an overager, I'd rather take the risk with the other gem. And then Elias Conacher, great name. But I think we'll avoid a couple of gems, a bust in McKinley. Kind of a tough call, but I mean, in terms of who we have here, to me it seems kind of obvious. We go for the low elite Braden Baines, and we'll hope for the best here. He is a 63 overall low elite, not bad. A good start to this draft. Whether or not these guys end up being half decent, time will tell. We do have an extra second round pick thanks to a little bit of compensation, which is quite nice. I honestly completely forgot about that. I almost had the question, like, where did that come from? Offer sheet compensation. That's where it came from. So in terms of who could go next, we have McCult, who was looking good. McCarthy, do you have good grades? No, you don't. So there you go. Medium starters don't always have great starting grades. You had the low 6. Barahowski, probably another low 6. The guaranteed low 4. Goligoski could be worth it. Another gem, but I don't like that potential, to be honest. The other low elite. Clancy, I know is a gem as well, but I'm a little bit nervous about that potential. Iverson, looking better than Mathot. Is there anybody else that's half decent? A starter medium elite. Kelvin Tutu, I mean, not guaranteed, of course, but the potential's there. Demetrius Hope as well as a goalie would be quite nice. There's also the other goalie, Van Allen, who is more of a guarantee. Let's take a look here at Jared Van Allen. He should be available in the third round. So taking a look at this point, I mean, the highest rated by far is McCult at low elite. Is there anybody else who has that better chance? I mean, medium elite, potentially in Goligoski, which I wouldn't doubt it, even as an overager, though. Which means his starting overall has to be very solid if he's ever really going to make it. And it might be, but it might not be, just because of the physical and defensive categories being as low as they are. There's Conacher as a gem, but I don't want a low 6. Beta as well, another low 6 there. The medium 4 in Iverson, and then Tutu. So let's take one more look. We have quite a few guys here pinned here. Karkner can be taken off the list. Let's resort that. Is that everybody? It's not. There's one extra. So the highest rated guy is McCult. Van Allen projected for 30 picks later, so we should be able to get Van Allen in the third round. Him or Hope, for that matter. Which, boy, don't we need some hope, right? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, let's, I think we might risk it for Landon McCult. I mean, it's B's and C's pretty much across the board. Jesus. This is a risk now. Van Allen should be available 30 picks from now. And we pick... Oh, God, please. I'm going to take McCult. For the love... I can't risk it. Oh, my God, if Van Allen's not there in the third round. Please don't make me regret this. McCult's a low elite 63, so that's solid. Please don't have him have been selected. Iverson's gone. Turco's gone. Howe, Tutu, Rodin, Cloutier, Anisimov. I think we're good. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus. Yes. Thank God. Jared Van Allen. He's an overager, but that starting potential, that starting overall should be great. Van Allen, 64. Not as good as you would expect, but that's just, I mean, A's and B's apparently equal out to a 64. Figure that one out. They really need to rework that. Van Allen, with those grades, you would have thought would have been in like the mid-70s. Or at least in the 70s. So, it's still a decent goalie pickup. But, goddamn, he is not as good as I would have hoped. We go to the fourth round. It's still been a solid draft for us. The one downside is Van Allen being an overager, but it is what it is. Yuri Korobev. Jesus, there's no way you ever develop. Probably not. A potential low 4, low 6, couple medium 9s. The elite Jack Nicholson. We're taking him for the name. We also have Joseph Heward. Also not that ideal. The Italian Howard Reeves. Because nothing screams Italian like the name Howard. Is there anybody else? High backup and Stoll. Hello, Dominic Ritu. Oh, you're gonna be bad though. You're gonna be really, really bad. Like stupidly bad. What about Torsten Jacobs? Also going to be stupidly bad. Steve Matvechuk, meh. And Vorobyev, also kind of meh. So we have some options in the Ruslan Vyasunov. I mean, we have some options, but goddamn if they're not going to be terribly low rated. So it's like Matvechuk. I mean, Korobev is way the hell up there. So I can take Vorobyev. Nope. Don't want to do that. Jacobs, Matvechuk, and Vyasunov off the board because they're going to be available later on. So who do we have here? It's 3, right? 4. Ritu should still be there as well. So it's between Vorobyev, Nicholson, and Heward, all defensemen. Vorobyev's 18, going to have a terrible overall. Nicholson's 17. I think Nicholson wins. In fairness, none of them are overagers, but Nicholson being 17, I think he wins out. And his name's Jack Nicholson. So, Jack, welcome to the team. You're a 48. Oh my God. Come on. Pick number 420. Holy shit. And our scout must have been stoned. 48. Oh my God. He's never going to make it. He's going to need that extra year to develop because holy shit. That is a low overall. That is exactly the type of player that in a normal series you just immediately trade away to make the most of that value. Good Lord. Roberto Anthony. A- physicality enforcer. Medium top 9 enforcer, by the way. At 20 years old. That's actually kind of interesting. The medium top 6 defenseman. Not so much, but Anthony's an interesting one. There was also Ritu. Who else do we have here? We have Chouinard. Potentially not bad. Ted Wild. What about Jackson Hickey? Also meh. Anybody else? Low 9. Potential medium 9 and Vesa Samalainen. I think I'd rather take the Enforcer just for the memes. Just for those glorious memes. Torsten Jacobs is going to have a stupidly low overall, much like Mr. Nicholson. Matt Tkachuk, Vorobyev, still here. Vyasunov is still here. Hector Gilas, not really going to work out for us. Hello, Sebastian Aho. 19 years old, but, you know, could work out for us. In a normal draft, I'd definitely take him, like, instantly. Kwong is kind of terrible. That would be extremely interesting. Dmitry Zhikov, 20 years old. What about this medium 9? Alexei Jas, not that great, unfortunately. So I think we have pretty much everyone scouted out at this range. So there is the gem in Aho at 19, but my God, he's going to have such a low overall. But he is listed as a gem. So will he develop as he should? You have Dominic Ritu, medium elite at 19 years old. It's going to take him forever to develop if he actually does. Zhikov at 20, there's no guarantees he's actually that good. We'll take him off the list. Roberto Anthony, that interesting enforcer, but I think we're going to want to try to get somebody a little bit better. Raphael Chouinard, not bad, but probably a low 4. Vyasunov isn't that bad and has a bit higher of a ceiling than Chouinard. Aho, if we wanted another goalie. Matt Tkachuk is terrible, but at least we know what the potential is. Same with Jacobs, same with Vorobyev. So, in terms of how high to aim here, Ritu's the safe bet. We might be able to get Aho in the next round, or Vyasunov for that matter. Vyasunov, I think, is the one that I like the most, though, in terms of being the most complete. But Ritu at a medium elite, 19 years old. Is he worth taking? All three of these guys are all 18. Actually, Jacobs is 17. You know, I think for the fact that Jacobs is 17 and is going to have a little bit of time to develop, we're going to take him. It's a little bit of a risk. Yeah, 49. So same thing, a younger player. At the very least, he has forever and a day. Vyasunov was actually terrible. At the very least, he has forever and a day to try and develop. And from here, we'll sort by potential just to see what we're dealing with. So Aho, another goalie in keeping, who might be okay. Ross Marleau cannot skate, but can do everything else. Yes, ma'am. Miles Richmond. I mean, Jesus, there's just a ton of them. All right, so right now, it's going to be tough to say that we don't pick Marleau. I mean, because why would we not? Aho's there. I don't really trust it, but he's there. He's a bit safer of a bet than keeping, which means he's really not. Richmond is a gem. That doesn't beat Marleau. I need to see good grades. Hello. Okay, so right now it's Marleau and Vorobyev. Not even close. And we could get both. I need to see other good grades here. But we're looking like things could be interesting at the end of this draft, which is nice because it hasn't exactly been amazing. Hello, Engqvist. If I could trust that, which I probably can't. B and C is not terrible. Where are we at? We're at top 9. Okay, so I think we know. Who the hell we're taking. Higher rated guy is Marleau. So Ross Marleau, the 19-year-old from the Spokane Chiefs, will be the pick. Cannot skate to save his life. Not a good face-off man either, but everything else is looking amazing. He's a 68. Not bad for what, a 19-year-old? Not bad at all. Again, cannot skate, but everything else is in a pretty good spot. That's a good 6th round find. And in the 7th round, we pick a little bit earlier, of course, because the 7th round pick swapping to get rid of people. And we already know it's going to be Sergei Vorobyev. Yeah, Vorobyev. That's what it is, not Vorobyev. It's Vorobyev, my bad. Similar story. Just can't really skate and can't really play defense as a defenseman. But holy shit, everything else is looking great. Vorobyev is a 69 low elite at 18 years old. Good shit. Okay, so, you know, those middle rounds with two 17-year-olds that are going to take forever to develop if they actually do, balanced out by finding two very good low elites at the end of a draft. Of course, we had the one extra pick there thanks to compensation. And overall, this could be the start of a beautiful new journey for this team. Looking at what we have to deal with, you know what? I don't even care about trying to save money. I don't even care. Let's just get to the, in terms of that sense, because that's like the last day where you can technically do like, before, the actual re-sign phase contracts and potentially get some money. We could not there. So going to contracts and going to goaltenders, we start off with Iliakis. Crab is an RFA. Doesn't want much, which means he's not going to fetch much on the open market. So at the very least, for now, we re-sign Crab. Right? We re-sign Crab and probably trade Iliakis. We'll go with Crab, Fragapani, Åkerlund, and Van Allen in the AHL, although I don't exactly want to sign Van Allen either. He's just too low of an overall to be effective at the AHL level. But for now, Crab absolutely gets re-signed. I'm all right with going for what he wants because he'll technically have one more year of RFA status after this, I do believe. So we'll bring him back for that, and then even if he wants more in the future, it's not a big deal. Fuller wants a big-time contract. Barry Fuller, consistent 20 to 30 point guy in the playoffs, does not show up. Am I willing to pay $8+ million, closer to 9, for 20 to 30 points? I'm not. So unfortunately, Barry Fuller, former 4th overall pick in 2021, we have to say goodbye. We didn't win within your window. You are gone, sir. And then we also have Pihlstrom. Nico Pihlstrom, 10 to 20 point guy. 2nd round pick was a pretty damn good find. But am I willing to pay $7 to $8 million for under 20 points a season? I am not. Nico Pihlstrom is gone. The good thing is we do have Shattenkirk here, who is looking like one of the bigger steals we found this year. He's an 82 overall low elite at 20 years old, as a former 7th round pick in 2031. He will absolutely be signed. I could actually wait one more year if I wanted to, but I won't. I can't wait to see him in the lineup. We then have Alan Cullen, who is a 10 to 20 point guy, former 6th round pick. Am I willing to pay $3+ million for 10 points? I'm not. Alan Cullen, former 6th round pick in 2024, is on the way out. So right now our defense is shaping up to be Zieler, Richter, Shattenkirk, Bukaboom, Francois, and then more than likely Holmberg, who in fairness isn't going to get much better. It might end up being Saugus. Saugus right now, Victor Saugus, is my pick to get that spot. 1.1 over 2 years, that's fine by me. So again, with Saugus, we have our 5, and then down in the AHL will be Holmberg, Hancock, Bannister. Vorobiev could be signed and should be signed. And then we already have Blatney there. I'd probably have to sign Yandel as well, even though that's not exactly ideal. So we're going to have some lower overall guys who I don't want to be there. The point of checking that was as to whether or not I wanted to re-sign these guys, which I do. Again, in terms of compensation, it would not be much. So let's bring back Holmberg, Hancock, and Bannister, at the very least, to bolster up the AHL defense. And to be honest, I might just sign some random low overall dude to a 1-year contract rather than throwing Yandel and McCult into the AHL, because as it is with Blatney, it's not going to work. He's going to be pretty bad this year. So again, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think I'll sign somebody random, just like a low overall dude, but at least someone whose development might not be stunted. So that's going to be the defense this year. Forward-wise, Nazarov, yet again, RFA status. He is a 50 to 60 point guy. I mean, from 40 points to 50 points to 60 points, which is great. If we take a look at how he did in the playoffs, he had 6 points in 12 games, not a single goal, though. which he was never much of a goal scorer. He does want to re-sign, but holy shit does he want to get paid. Oh boy. That's interesting because he came off of a great season. And of course there's been talk of like Dylan Redden not being worth keeping, which, you know, he's a 60-point guy, 60 to 70-point guy. He scored 30 goals for the past 3 years. The big issue with him is a distinct lack of postseason success. So, he, Fragapani, Ivanov as well, all being called into question. With Nazarov looking for $9 million or so, if we take a look at the offer sheet compensation, he would be in first, second, and third round pick territory if he were to sign elsewhere. And that might potentially be too good to pass up. That does sound like a hell of an offer. Ben McCauley is looking for $5 million, which isn't that bad for someone who could still improve. He had 55 points over the past 2 seasons. We'll absolutely look to bring back McCauley. And to be honest, I don't know how much better he's going to get. I do want to check what an 8-year deal would be, though. That'd be 6.4. A little bit more than I want to pay. So let's just say that would be about 6 even. That would be 5.5 right there. And 5.5, and then if we go 5 years, that's not bad. So if we do the 6-1, just to get the exact number that we're looking for, that'd be 5.2. So I think I'm just going to add the 1 extra year, and that way it won't be too crazy of a cap hit. It'll be 4.8, which isn't too bad. So we end up paying, oh God, why did that have to happen? So for 4 years, it's 4.8 as opposed to 4.2 over 3 years. So I think that's decent, you know, good amount to pay, but and again, cap-wise, we're not really in trouble. We're not really in trouble. I'm trying to still think about this tactically, we'll say, despite the fact that the urge is there and the desire is there from you guys to just see me blow this fucking team up. So don't worry, I get it. I'm just worried that if McCauley doesn't develop anymore, over $6 million for 50 points, not quite. Maybe the 5 year would be better. 5.2 over 5 years. Let's do that. That's not bad. That's not too bad. 5.2 has a chance of getting better. I don't know if he'll ever deliver more than 50 points, but I think that works. Maybe. Oh, God. Let me just double check this with McCauley. I don't know why I'm so indecisive with McCauley right now. Maybe we just go the 4.375 over 3 years. Fuck it. Maybe he'll be more likely to accept if we offer him what he's looking for. Svoboda put up 40 points this season. What's he looking for? The 25-year-old's not going to get any better. 2 years at, what could we knock that down to? We could knock that down to 2.325. 2.325 for a 40-point getter. I will take that if he can continue to produce like that. The playoffs, well, 5 points in 12 games. He's not going to get any better, but still, it's a pretty decent contract for him. Is there anybody else? Soro. Interesting one where he's not going to get any better, 21 points. We need to take a look at our highest rated players here. So again, we have the top 8 there with Svoboda. If we drop down, that's 16 with McCammond, and then 24. So those are the highest rated players right now. We do have some guys that might have to go. So it's like, I think we're just going to outright, unless he was Canadian, he is. So we're not going to sign Marlowe this year. We are going to sign Melnick, and we'll give him an opportunity. Garnett was American, so we'll play him down in the AHL this year. There's a decent chance of me flipping out some AHL level guys. Hutton, odds are, isn't going to get that much better. 35 points. Former third-round pick in 2027. Has a pretty good shot, but the offensive awareness is just too low. He's not going to get any better, and we're not going to get a decent offer for him, so we're going to let go of Hutton. And then someone like Sarno, Boro, Yang, I think we're just going to look to keep all of these guys, for now at least. Sarno, we'll sign him to what he's asking for. Boro, same thing before the money goes way the hell up. Francois, we can look to keep for now. He's looking for a bit much, but he might be the type of player that we look to just flip for a 7th to get off the team. We'll see if 1-9 is good enough for him. And then Soro can also stay. As far as major changes are concerned, I'm still not entirely sure what we're going to be looking to do here. We'll get Soro at 1.4. And we'll see who accepts. The only thing we haven't done is send an offer to Nazarov. I mean, I'm intrigued to see how that situation plays out. So Hancock accepts. Basically, we're going to assume everyone accepts. Let's see. Oh, there was 2 rejecteds in there so far that I just kind of skipped over. I know that one was Svoboda. I didn't see who the other was. So let's take a look. All expiring. It was Francois who didn't want that slightly diminished offer. So, Svoboda, buddy, what can we do to get a deal done here? Again, you're not going to get any better. I'll give you the 2 years that you want, and we'll drop that down to 2.5 just to save me a little bit of money. Francois, again, we tried 1.9. Let's go 2.2. And then the big moment of today is whether or not we let go of Nazarov, who probably isn't going to get that much better. I mean, is a proven point getter, but a first, second, and third round pick. What are the odds that we get people, at least one person and maybe some extra who just turn out to be some bottom 6 depth, that can do what Nazarov is capable of? And again, as it is in the playoffs, he wasn't overly impressive. Like, he was terrible in the cup run here as a rookie. The next year after, he was pretty good. That year, he was okay, and then this year, he was okay. He just doesn't shoot the puck either, despite a really strong shooting stat. First, second, and a third round pick. Because I'm not worried about saving money with him, I am going to qualify him. I'll let him go to free agency. And it's either he'll sign back with us for 1 year, as Francois rejects. It's either he'll sign back with us for 1 year, or we'll get an offer, and we can decide from there whether or not he is worth keeping at that price point. Unfortunately, Jean-Francois is being a bit of a douche here, and I don't really think he's worth the money, but he's not going to get a big enough offer to make the compensation worth it. So we have everybody taken care of outside of Nazarov. His future is up in the air. We will look to re-sign our myriad of scouts. I'm just going to max that out and see if they're willing to accept it, because that would be great, to be honest. The less I have to worry about this, the better. So, let's see what we can do. Let's go for Brennan Summers here. Like I said, the one thing I pretty much have to do is look at a defenseman. There's a guarantee, though, in terms of setting up this roster, that we end up moving some of those AHL guys out with the 7th round pick swap just to get rid of them. So it's pretty much a guarantee. Rodrigo Gratton will look to sign as well, and we'll look for the highest rated scout in free agency once we can. So let's do this. I'm going to have to reject. Okay, so they won't automatically accept. But this is, yeah, okay, cool. So they just won't automatically. Is everyone going to reject? Following scouts have not been renewed. I guess it did. Yeah, I meant to hit advanced day. I guess it did sim to free agency. I guess we'll take care of scouts first because, it's kind of important. And we have 7 spots available. Let's just look to sign who we can. Hire scouts, please. So who is available in terms of high rated? So we lost a couple of high rateds. Hopefully they come right back. That would be nice. Why does it take that extra bit of time to just confirm? Like right there. Like what's with that 2 to 3 second pause to confirm that you sent an offer to a scout? I don't understand that process, aside from the fact that maybe it's like you already have the names loaded up in the background. It doesn't seem to make sense, and damn it, I need something to complain about. I do. And EA, Lord knows, they provide those options at times, don't they? Mark St. Jacques. Bomick. Philippi Bomick. The Bomicks. And, I mean, we'll just send an offer out to Kid as well. Tiny Kid. I don't know if I want to employ a tiny kid. That, man, there could be some work-related issues there based on child labor laws. But, you know, for now, we're fine. So the big thing here, let me go out and, actually, we can offer them after. Jesus Christ. Hey, look who it is. Look who it is. It's Gary Lieb. Made it to an 88. 60-point guy. Here's when he was with us. And then afterwards, he actually started putting up fucking points. Dick. I should be able to sign him. I still wouldn't. I wouldn't sign him to $11 million a season. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So unfortunately, there is some competition for Nazarov. But we should be okay. I'll sign that defenseman later. Ronald Smithson, Stanley Greer, Mark St. Welcome aboard. Shirokov. Yeah, they pretty much always just go with you. Shiru. Bomik. Tiny Kid. And Brennan Summers. Of course, the highest rated guy doesn't come back, but that's okay. What's going to happen here with Nazarov? Will he get an offer? Will he take our offer sheet offer? Let's find out. And to be honest, if he does take the offer sheet offer, I probably just screwed myself out of a little bit of money. Billy Idol. Money. Come on. All right. Well, it's not looking like there's going to be an offer for him, which means any second now he's going to sign with us. There you go. So I do believe that rules out that final year of RFA eligibility. I think that was it, right? Yeah, so after next year, he will be a UFA. Not that we won't have the cap space to potentially bring him back, and that's not to say that the roster is by any means finalized, where we could honestly move on from certain players if we wanted to. Among the defensemen, I need to look to bring in somebody to the AHL, someone who's not that great, but has a recognizable name, like Caleb Jones, Riley Bruce. Wouldn't be that bad of an option. Lalonde. I want someone who's slightly low overall, though. Trent Bork. Riley Stillman. Riley Stillman might be the guy. DeYoung. Malmstrom, Thielander, Nick Hague. You're too good, buddy. You're too good. The Ploufs. I'm wasting too much time with this. Keane, Bukac. No, there isn't one name where I'm like, yes, this is the guy. Doesn't appear to be the case. Who are you, Martin? Max Martin. Absolutely not. Come on, there's got to be somebody like Jet Wu being a 73, but you're kind of a bit too good there, Jet. I hate to tell you. Okay, yeah, we've up Kevin Ball. Nah, you're too good. King Cunningham, by the way. All right, let's just sign McCutcheon because I don't want to scroll all the way back up. So we'll sign him. He's nothing too great, but I'll take the option of signing a low-end nothing player for one season. Again, I'm not allowed to make any big signings. That's strictly an AHL signing, so that I don't have to go out and sign one of our defensemen who's honestly not good enough to play at the AHL level yet. It would be nice if the ECHL had integration where you could be like, oh, okay, I'm going to sign this guy, but I'm going to send him down to the ECHL where he'll actually, be successful, as opposed to the NHL level where he'll be hot garbage. The hottest of hot garbage. So, let's see, once we are good to go here, what options we have in terms of who stays and who goes, right? So to roster moves, it is. Among the goaltenders, Iliakis is being traded. It's not even a discussion. It's just not. Iliakis is being traded right now in this episode. It's not a debate. Stu Crab is the man. Fragapani will be the backup. Len Iliakis, not good enough to be our goalie here. Just not. Yeah, it's not good enough. He just hasn't been able to make the jump from successful AHL goalie to successful NHL goalie, which means Van Allen, who's up to a 66, will be signed, and he'll be the backup goalie for the Doolin Narwhal this season. So let's go ahead and trade Iliakis just to get him off of the roster. I will try to be nice to see what team could actually use a goalie. And the answer is behind the door. Not any of these. Is there a team that needs a goalie, please? For the love of God. You can't tell me that the AI have actually managed to balance out goaltending well. Case in point. Jesus. $25.6 million. Nearly 0.7 between two goaltenders. Good stuff. Considering they haven't been... well, you need another goalie. Detroit, don't you? So, there you go. You win. I will gladly take that 7th round pick. You can have mine, and you can also have one Len Iliakis. Thank you. Beautiful. So, there we go. Len, thanks for coming, buddy. But you are off the roster. Again, the only way we were ever going to get rid of him was for nothing. So Fragapani will be called up. Ackerlund and Van Allen will be in the AHL. So our goaltending is set. Defense, Zieler, Shattenkirk up to an 84. Richter, Francois, Bukaboom, and Holmberg. That's fine. We'll play Saugus in the AHL for one more season. So the big thing there, Saugus, Hancock. Well, really, Saugus, Vorobiev, and Blatny are the ones I'm really intrigued by. So that is the new look defense this season. Forward-wise, it was where it gets interesting. That's where it gets quite interesting. So those, overall-wise, is there somebody better? There is. So we have multiple 80s, and Boro as an 81. So if we were to look here, that's 10, 11, 12. So we could technically send down you 3. So we have Francois, Saros, Yang, and McAmmond down in the AHL who are all 4th liners. At the NHL level, there's still Redden, Fragapani, Ivanov, Nazarov, Cox, Nylander, McCauley, and Vita Luoma. So needless to say, we have way too many top 6 talents and not enough spots. Ideally, 2 of them would go. Especially, too, when you look at it, there's not one guy there where I'd be like, yeah, he'd probably be better suited as a 3rd liner. Even Vita Luoma should be able to develop despite his playoff struggles. Cox as well as offensively gifted enough. So, ideally, 2 of these players go. Just if we want to get the most out of these players here, ideally, 2 of them leave. That's not to say, again, that Vita Luoma couldn't be a 3rd line guy. And I mean, at certain points last year, he did quite well. But I want to see if he could take a step forward with that top 6 time. From there, in terms of 3rd liners and 4th liners, I'm not as concerned. You could have Sarno, Moroz, Boro, Svoboda could also be there. And then, of course, we'd look to call up 2 out of the 4 between Francois, Saros, Yang, and McAmmond. So 2 of these players have to go. Trade value is irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant because it doesn't matter. We just did the 7th round pick swap. So we have Vita Luoma, who should be an amazing playmaker. He's not going to get any better, but he put up 40 points last year before disappearing in the playoffs. Does he deserve the chance to stay? We have Ben McCauley, who we just signed to the new deal, 23 years old with that low elite potential. Still has the chance of getting better. Back-to-back 50-point seasons, 99 offensive awareness, could be a playmaker, a sniper, a two-way, and do all of those roles, or be effective in all of those roles. You have Kim Nylander at 25. He's not going to get any better than what he is now, but he has, 49-point season. He's gotten better every single year. So this could be a big season for him. And again, as a sniper, as a two-way, could be very effective. Gregory Cox, who, jumped up big time. Low elite now, 23, with that 85 overall. Is a monster at the AHL level, former 6th-round pick. So again, you can't say we haven't drafted well, but in terms of being a playmaker or a sniper, could be dominant. Sergei Nazarov, we know what he's about in terms of being an elite-level playmaker. It's just what options do we take to keep that talent around him? We have him for 1 year. You have Ivanov, who has 2 years left on his deal. Very well-rounded playmaker, two-way, sniper, could all be effective roles for him. 50 to 60-point guy. We know what he's about. And then there's the 32-year-old Howard Fragapani. 50 point, 60 point, 70 point. Last year looked like a bounce back year, and then in the playoffs just didn't do enough. Unfortunately, could be effective as a playmaker, a two-way, whatever. And then there's Dylan Redden. Now 28 years old, 4 straight 30-plus goal seasons, or 3 straight 30-plus, 4 straight 30-goal seasons in general. Not a major point getter, though. On the last year of his deal, between Redden and Vita Luoma, 2 players have to go. What we're going to do is put together a straw poll. It'll be linked in the description and will be the pinned comment if I remember. And you will vote for who you... How do I want to phrase it? You'll vote for who we want to keep. So the straw poll will be multiple choice. I think we'll do it that way. The straw poll will be multiple choice. You're going to vote for the players that you want to stay. So if you think they should stay, vote for them. Again, multiple choice. You can vote for whoever. But the 2 players with the least amount of votes will be traded in the next episode. So between Redden, Fragapani, Ivanov, Nazarov, Cox, Nylander, McCauley, and Vita Luoma, vote for who you want to stay. The 2 lowest voted upon players will be traded, and we'll sort out the rest of the team from there. Have we seen the last of Dylan Redden and Howard Fragapani? That choice is up to you guys. I'm excited to see what happens regardless. It's going to be a change for the team. We're still going to be competitive regardless of what changes are made. But I'm leaving it up to you, as it should be. So that'll do it for this one. Thank you guys very much for watching and still supporting the series. It means the world to me. Support the video and the channel in any way you deem necessary to make sure, at the very least, YouTube lets you know when I upload. And until the next one, make sure to vote, and I'll see you next time.